Have you ever felt like someone is too attached to you? Like they can't function without your attention? Emotional addiction is real, and it's not the same as love. Today, we're breaking down 8 signs they're emotionally addicted to you. Stick around, you might recognize some of these behaviors. Sign 1: they can't handle space. When someone panics the moment you take time for yourself, blowing up your phone, guilt-tripping you, or acting abandoned, it's a major red flag. Healthy love respects boundaries. Emotional addiction thrives on constant contact. This behavior reveals a deeper issue. They don't just want you, they need you to regulate their emotions. Without your attention, they feel unstable, anxious, or even worthless. True emotional security means being okay when your partner is apart. Trusting the connection isn't threatened by space, but an emotionally addicted person interprets distance as rejection, triggering desperate attempts to fix the separation. They might say things like, "You don't care anymore," or bombard you with messages to soothe their own anxiety. This isn't love, it's dependency. A balanced relationship allows both people to breathe, grow, and maintain individuality. If someone can't function unless you're their constant emotional anchor, it's time to reassess whether the bond is nurturing or draining. Sign 2: their mood depends on you. When someone's mood rises and falls entirely based on yours, celebrating when you're happy but crumbling when you're distant, that's not love. It's emotional dependency. A healthy partner maintains their own inner stability. They don't rely on you to regulate their emotions like a human mood regulator. This kind of enmeshment creates an unhealthy dynamic where you feel pressured to constantly manage their feelings. If you're having an off day, they take it personally or become distressed. If you need space, they interpret it as rejection rather than a normal need for balance. True love means 2 whole people choosing each other, not one person using the other as an emotional crutch. A secure relationship allows both partners to experience independent emotions without fear of destabilizing the other. If your presence is the only thing keeping them emotionally afloat, it's a sign of attachment issues, not a sustainable loving bond. Sign 3: they're jealous of everything. Emotional addiction creates an unhealthy dependency where your partner sees anything outside the relationship as competition. They may guilt-trip you for working late, sulk when you spend time with friends, or dismiss your hobbies as a waste of time. This isn't about missing you. It's about their inability to self-soothe. Healthy love encourages balance, but emotional addicts interpret your independence as rejection, triggering their fear of abandonment. Their resentment is a way to monopolize your attention, ensuring they remain your sole focus. Over time, this behavior isolates you, erodes your self-esteem, and traps you in a cycle of reassurance seeking. True love supports your growth. If someone treats your passions and relationships as threats, it's a sign they're emotionally addicted, not committed. Boundaries are essential because you deserve connection, not control. Sign 4: they love bomb you, then withdraw. One day, they shower you with affection, texts, gifts, and declarations of love. The next, they're distant, indifferent, or even critical. This hot and cold behavior isn't accidental. It's a toxic pattern that creates dependency. Emotional addicts thrive on intensity. The highs make you feel cherished, while the sudden withdrawals leave you confused and desperate to fix things. This roller coaster triggers an addictive response in your brain, much like gambling. You keep chasing the high of their approval. But real love is steady, not chaotic. If someone switches between obsession and detachment, it's often because they fear true intimacy. They pull away to regain control, then reel you back in when they crave validation. Breaking free means recognizing this cycle for what it is: emotional manipulation, not love. Stability shouldn't feel like a luxury. It's a basic requirement for any healthy relationship. Sign 5: they isolate you. When someone discourages your other relationships, whether subtly, "they don't really care about you," or overtly, "I should be enough for you," it's a sign of emotional addiction, not love. A healthy partner celebrates your connections. They want you to have fulfilling friendships, family bonds, and hobbies. But emotional addicts see others as competition. Their need for constant validation makes them resent anything that diverts your attention. They might guilt-trip you for spending time away, criticize your friends' family to isolate you, frame their possessiveness as just caring. True love is secure. It doesn't demand exclusivity over every part of your life. Addiction, however, thrives on control. By limiting your world, they ensure you remain their primary source of emotional supply, which is exhausting and unfair. Sign 6: They can't take criticism. When someone can't handle even mild criticism, whether they lash out defensively or shut down completely, it reveals a deep emotional dependency. In healthy relationships, feedback is normal and constructive, but emotionally addicted individuals tie their entire self-worth to your approval. If you express disappointment or suggest improvement, they don't just hear it. They feel like their entire identity is under attack. This happens because they lack internal validation, relying entirely on you for reassurance. They fear rejection, so any critique feels like abandonment. They may over-apologize or spiral into self-blame to fix things quickly. This isn't love. It's an unhealthy attachment. A secure partner can discuss issues without crumbling or arguing excessively, but emotional addicts see your honesty as a threat to their fragile self-esteem. Ask yourself, do they take accountability? Or does every conversation become about soothing their insecurities? Real connection requires mutual growth, not walking on eggshells to protect someone's emotional dependency. Sign 7. They mirror you, instead of being themselves. When someone mirrors your hobbies, opinions, or even your personality, it may seem flattering at first. But it's often a red flag for emotional enmeshment, not genuine connection. Healthy relationships thrive on individuality. Two whole people choosing to share their lives while maintaining their own identities. But emotionally addicted individuals suppress their true selves, adopting your traits to secure attachment. They do this because fear of rejection. They believe conformity will make you stay. Low self-worth. They lack their own passions, so they borrow yours. Desperation for validation. They crave approval by becoming your perfect match. This isn't admiration. It's emotional dependency. Over time, resentment builds, either because they lose themselves or you feel smothered by their lack of authenticity. Ask yourself, do they have their own interests, or do they only reflect mine? Real love doesn't erase individuality. It celebrates it. If you notice this pattern, encourage them to explore their own identity. True connection happens when both people can stand on their own. Sign 8. They threaten to leave. But never do the "I can't do this anymore" cycle, followed by staying, isn't passion. It's emotional manipulation. This push-pull dynamic creates addictive drama, where threats of abandonment actually serve to deepen your attachment through anxiety and relief. Here's why it's toxic. It manufactures intensity. The highs and lows mimic passion, but real love feels secure, not chaotic. It's about control. By keeping you in crisis mode, they ensure you're emotionally preoccupied with them. It prevents real intimacy. Healthy conflict leads to resolution. This cycle just resets the drama clock. This behavior often stems from their own fear of abandonment. They push you away to test if you'll stay, reinforcing their need for reassurance. But relationships shouldn't feel like emotional whiplash. Ask yourself, do I feel safe or constantly on edge? Love shouldn't require threats to feel alive. If this pattern persists, it's not a relationship, it's an addiction. Love should feel secure, not like an emotional hostage situation. If you see these signs, set boundaries. And if you're the one addicted, it's time to rebuild your self-worth. You deserve, and they deserve, healthier connections. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay emotionally healthy, friends.